Hello, and welcome to Tales from the Twist, the podcast where we recap your childhood. My name is Joe Lewis, and I'm joined today by my co-host Anthony Bull.
Whoa, Joe! Whoa, that was a wild intro. Whoa.
I'm so 90s. I'm waiting for the goop to fall on my head.
Oh, you're gonna get gooped so hard,
man.
Nickelodeon is just gonna sit over the top of you. Whoever Nickelodeon is, who's Nickelodeon? Is he a guy?
No, I don't know.
Probably.
I like to imagine Nickelodeon as an asexual blob.
Yeah, like green asexual blob, of course.
Sexual.
Or is it orange? Same.
I don't know. I'm colorblind, Anthony.
It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing to me.
Oh, okay. He's an asexual green blob who likes to basically blob on people. Goopy goop
Just
on
goop
you.
on them. Just goop everywhere.
It's fine. You don't have to ask permission to goop back in those days. You could just goop wherever you wanted.
There was no goop consent laws back then.
Exactly.
You know, it was the Wild West, the 90s. We are, of course, here to talk about children's television shows. Primarily this week, Round the Twist.
Yeah.
Season 4, Episode 2, and it's called Monster Under the Bed.
Yes.
A favourite of yours, perhaps?
Nope.
Have you ever seen this episode?
No, actually I haven't.
You know, I'm not surprised at all at that, to be honest. How many episodes of Round the Twist had you actually seen before we started doing this?
I have no idea.
Probably about 2.
Probably.
From the number of times that I've asked you, have you seen this episode? And you've gone, no, I don't recall.
No,
I don't recall seeing that episode.
I was too busy watching, like, pay TV and stuff.
I, on the other hand...
I'm like a plebeian like yourself.
I'm pretty sure I've seen every single episode, differing numbers of times. Some of the... season 1, I'm very familiar with. The other seasons, not so much. But I have seen them all. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So that just means I'm just a better person than you in general, right?
You are my tour guide on this guide, I guess.
Magical mystery tour of wonder.
So let's say if Round the Twist was a journey, you would be the donkey.
Walrus. I'd be the walrus and you'd be the Eggman.
That is true. Cuckoo.
Yeah. Monster Under the Bed is a Bronson-centric episode. How long has it been since we've had one of them? Probably a really long time because we had like a month and a half break from the show.
Okay, so when we've had it, sure, month and a half break.
How many episodes?
It's been
1 week since you looked at me.
2? Yeah, I know.
2 episodes?
2 episodes. First episode of season 4, and the last episode of season 3. But then it was If Walls Could Talk. Before that,
yeah.
Because
How'd you feel about If Walls Could Talk in hindsight?
If Walls Could Talk should have led into my finale, as far as I'm concerned. Made no sense otherwise. It was stupid and never gets addressed again, I hope.
If Walls Could Talk, what would that episode tell you?
What?
If Walls could... don't worry.
Actually, bringing back If Walls Could Talk, inanimate objects can talk. So this Dust Bunny character, did the Dust Bunnies ever... Did they achieve consciousness in If Walls Could Talk? But then they couldn't, like, join and morph into, like, this dust monster being. I'm sorry, I'm giving away what it is.
Yeah, such a spoiler,
a spoiler, but maybe they achieved consciousness in the second last episode of season 3 and have now come together in a lightning storm. What do you reckon about that theory?
I don't know. Lightning storms, hey?
Lightning storms?
They're so magical. Pretty much, you know, is that becoming a thing now? There's been a lot of incidents in the last couple of seasons that are directly related to lightning storms.
I think it is, but I think maybe it's laziness. Because they don't know any other good way of getting the magic in there. So they say, what's the best way? Well,
a dark and stormy evening.
Yeah, and the lighthouse is sort of a lightning rod because it makes sense. It's out in the middle of nowhere and it's a tall building. It's got to be a huge lightning rod.
What was that joke thing that was around when we were in primary school? Like on a dark and stormy evening, the dunny light was dim. Do you remember that? Maybe it was a book.
Oh, I thought it was like 2 dead men on a dark and stormy night. 2 dead men got up to fight. Back to back, they faced each other, drew their swords, and shot each other. I heard that. It's just like a rhyme or some shit.
On a tangent, did your neighbour just get a dog?
Yeah, it fucking did. It was the most annoying fucking thing ever.
So Anthony used to live on the main street of a very trafficked suburb. Moved to the middle of nowhere. Literally the middle of nowhere. You drive for about 5 minutes and there's nothing.
He used to call this Eucalyptus Hill.
I still call it Eucalyptus Hills because it's one of these real estates that just pop up. Anyway, middle of nowhere, nobody's around, quietest place ever, best recording sessions we've ever had. Mm-hmm. You know, clean sound. All of a sudden, neighbour decides to get a dog, everything's ruined.
Because he's a dickhead.
Everything is ruined.
You know what that means? Like, we literally have to turn around this box, basically, to avoid the sound.
Well, with new setup, we won't need the box, but we'll see.
Well, maybe we could auction it for charity.
Auction your recording box. The plastic box stuffed with cotton wool.
Yes.
That we use to record.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sure that someone would buy it.
No one would buy it. People would pay us
not to sell it.
To sell it. Keep that. Monster Under the Bed is a Bronson-centric episode that begins with a teaser, as all Run Twist episodes do, with a house, the Lighthouse, on a tilt. Yeah. This was like a 30-degree angle.
Yes.
You know, we talk later in the episode about the lighthouse being structurally unsound because of hairline cracks. I'm more worried about the Leaning Tower of Pisa tilt it's got going on in this shot.
I think it's just trying to be like, what is it trying to be here? Is it trying to be a Dutch angle? Maybe it's a Dutch angle.
No, it's not a Dutch angle because the whole shot's got to be tilted. The actual ground.
But maybe the shot is tilted and you just don't realize it.
All right then. Yeah. Thank you. The cliff was kind of flat across the bottom of our screen, and the lighthouse itself is tilted.
Yes.
Do you have any rat poison
for the dog?
Yeah.
No, I don't have any rat poison for the dog.
No. I mean rat poison for the rats.
Yeah, the rats that don't stop fucking barking.
I'm joking. I don't believe in animal harm, except when they're really annoying.
Yeah, you're pushing it, dog.
You are pushing it indeed. It's stormy outside. Stormy, and Bronson's sleeping and he's talking. He's saying, it's too dusty, too filthy, I gotta clean up. And there's a monster under his bed.
There's a monster under his bed, is there? Yes, well, that does tend to happen. With kids, monsters tend to like to crawl under the bed and they hide there and they wait to grab your feet. Which is why, little note guys, you never sleep with your covers off your feet. Who out there is with me? Do you keep your feet in the covers?
What is your rationale for this?
So things don't fucking grab you from under the bed, obviously.
Is this a problem? Is this an ongoing problem that you have of things grabbing you from under the bed?
I don't have that problem because I don't stick my feet out, okay? And I think everyone out there who does the same, they know what I'm talking about. Hey, you don't let the bloody monster grab you in its sleep because it's going to grab you by the bed and it's going to, ankle and it's going to drag you to your doom.
In Paranormal Activity, she slept with the covers on top of her and it pulled them away and then dragged her foot out.
Well, that's the Paranormal Activity demon. That's different.
Toby,
old Tobias.
Toby, the Paranormal Activity demon. The monster is under the bed and it's storming and the monster's making squeaking noises and gathers dust. There's an avalanche at the cliff nearby and Bronson wakes up scared and he reassures his teddy. Linda wakes up and she says, this definitely means something.
It's good,
because
sure?
Everything in the world has meaning, Linda.
Yeah, everything revolves around you somehow. Everything's special. I don't know where you're going with this, but I thought you were going on a rant. I was like, back me up here.
Not everything needs to have meaning.
Exactly.
Some things can just not have meaning.
Sometimes there's...
Like life.
There is no meaning to it.
There is no meaning in life.
We live, we die.
That's it.
That's it, man.
You live, you die.
Sometimes you go to the shops.
Sometimes you don't.
Exactly.
Except when you do.
Even when you don't.
And then you can buy a sausage roll.
Exactly.
Sausage rolls.
Yes.
On the pantheon of baked goods, how high are they?
They're near the pinnacle. They're near the top.
If you had your top 5 baked goods, where would sausage roll rank? Would it make the top 5?
Yeah, definitely.
Would it make top 3?
Definitely.
What are your contenders for top 3 baked goods?
Oh, it's a good question. This is a very good question, and I encourage everyone out there to tell us your top contenders for baked goods. Croissant. Okay. A sausage roll, as I previously said, and then, I've got this another space. I don't know. Caramel slice, maybe?
Pie.
See, I like pie, okay? But when I eat pie, it gives me reflux. But it's so fucking good. So pie's number 3. But because it's like, oh no, you get a little bit of reflux, I can't eat pie. But God, it's so good to eat pie. So it's sort of like I don't know what you call it.
A release from the mortal world.
Yes.
And a glimpse into the ethereal one.
It is a bit like that. When you chew into a pie, you can see through time itself. You become one with the universe.
You become an awakened being.
But whereas a sausage roll, aside from being really crispy, which sort of like screws up your car, it is super portable and it's hot and it's meat and it's warm meat sandwiched between basically bread shit. So it's like, wow, I've got my entire lunch right here in my hands.
So you got like basically a meat wang.
Meat wang.
Encased with, what is that stuff? Pastry? What is that
puff
pastry?
Pastry, I think.
puff pastry.
Yeah.
And then you put tomato sauce on it, and you eat that sausage.
And then you just go for it. You just walk along because, mate, you're a human being. You've evolved. You don't need to sit down to eat. What's this bullshit? That's what a dog does. You can walk.
Do they have sausage rolls in other countries, or is this an exclusively Australian phenomenon?
I would like to believe that it is. I have no evidence to support that, but, I think that's Australian ingenuity right there.
The pavlova was barely ours. I think it was owned by somebody else first, and then claimed by us.
We took a meringue. We put cream on it. With
then
fruit,
a little bit of fruit.
Then we were like, let's name it after this Russian opera singer who nobody was going to remember in 100 years.
How much fruit does a pavlova need to have before it becomes a proper pavlova and not just a meringue with cream?
Oh, it's got to have lots of mango and other shit.
Mango?
Mango?
I've not been at many family gatherings where there's been mango on the pavlova. How rich are you, Anthony? Are you living the high life, upper class Australia?
What did you fucking put in yours?
Did you go to...
did you put bloody sliced bananas or some shit on it?
Yeah, sliced bananas and strawberries, mate. Maybe a little bit of passion fruit if you're lucky.
Squash grapes from the bottom of the fridge because that's all you can afford or something. I fucking know. Mangoes aren't that expensive.
Pavlovas with grapes on top, that's pretty gross. But I'm not hanging out at Uncle Mal Turnbull's place every second weekend. Like, I can't afford mango on my pavlova. What's this?
That's just connections. I got connections. What can I say?
This avalanche has woken up the Twist family. We're still on the first page of my notes.
Yeah,
so
well,
we're 10
when you
minutes
talk
in.
about pavlova, it's kind of hard to move past it.
It's a good dessert option.
It is a great dessert
Maybe
option.
not the best, but it's pretty up there.
Yeah.
You know what?
You know what? If we was going to stop, you were going to go, top 5 dessert. You go, well, I don't know. No,
let's do it quickly. Top 5 desserts.
Chocolate.
Just chocolate by itself?
Yeah.
You know what I did this afternoon?
No, chocolate cake, sorry.
Oh, chocolate cake. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying just chocolate as a dessert. Like, just eat a big bowl of chocolate.
Any chocolate flavour, anything, is always the best flavour.
You just heat up a big bowl of chocolate. What are you doing, mate? Oh, I'm just having a bowl. Just having a bit of a bowl, and I'm going to watch The Simpsons, man.
That's what you do, man.
Maybe watch some Okie Doke later.
Yeah, Okie Doke. Don't know what that is, but yeah, fucking love me some Okie Doke.
I was trying to make like a children's show reference, and the only one that came off to the top of my head was Okie Doke. Good old Okie Doke.
Save us from the Okie Dokes.
No.
If you can't do it, Okie Doke. Good old Okie
Doke. Wow. All right. It's the day before Easter for reference. We're both very tired. Pete wakes up and he says, is this an omen or is it a sign? And he has posters all around his room. And this is where we break in with some notes from our good listener, Pontillo. Firstly, I want to backtrack a little and introduce his introduction paragraph in which he says the following. When I used to watch Round the Twist on ABC, if I recall correctly, this was the only episode to get an adult supervision message before the episode commenced, whereas I don't believe other episodes such as No All Quivering Heap and Toy Love did. It's interesting where the ABC draws the line on suitable content, unless their guidelines on what's considered suitable without adult supervision changed later on down the line. Do you remember the adult supervision waiver before Round the Twist? Do you remember that?
Nope.
Well, of course you don't because you never watched the show. But the only time I remember seeing it was like Myth Warhurst showing up to say like, oh, hey kids, this is an episode of Degrassi. You should check if it's okay to watch because this show's pretty edgy. So just check with your nearest adult.
Your parents might not like you watching Degrassi Next Generation because a girl gets a period or something and then she goes and talks about the whole class about how she has a fucking period as if anyone gives a shit.
Because you have conservative parents, and that's not okay because I'm a liberal, leftist, hippy-dippy person.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Myth War's communist. You heard it here first, folks.
They were coming for you.
The relevant piece of information that Pontillo gave me for Pontillo's Pontifications, the part of the show where he writes in and tells us what he thinks.
And you can too.
And don't forget, you can too. And he said here, at this point in the episode, we see a selection of female music artist posters on Pete's walls. He's got Sister to Sister, something I've never heard of.
Really? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, I'm effing serious, Anthony.
They're like, I remember them. That's Sister is, fuck. No, wait, I'm confusing the no, I still remember them though. But they reminded me of the Veronicas. They reminded me of the Veronicas because the Veronicas are sisters, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, they're pretty hot.
there was always...
But then sister to sister, I know sister to sister. You know,
weirdly, there was that weird, like, sexual tension thing with the Veronicas, where everyone was like, what if they're dating? And it's like, they're sisters.
You're like, oh, you want to kind of see them kiss? And it's like, they're sisters. Well...
That was a thing, right? That wasn't just something that I was exposed to.
No, I thought it as well.
Yeah,
everyone was thought it. I was like, oh, yeah,
they're sisters. Why was that a thing? And why wasn't that a thing with every other, female artist group?
I don't know, because they kind of look I don't fucking know.
They're clearly sisters. They don't look different. Why would you want them to kiss? That's weird.
I don't know.
That's incest.
It is.
We can't have that on Australian television.
No, we cannot have that on Australian television.
No.
Unless you're SBS.
Unless you're SBS.
In which case, put it on there.
You can put that in between dog commercials.
Yeah, and then you have a bloody, edgy bloody MA15 plus, and it'll be fucking stories of incestuous couples.
Miff Warhurst is going to show up and curate it.
Exactly. And then Mark Fennell will be there and be like, oh, I love my brother or something, because we all hate Mark Fennell, right?
Mark Fennell.
Fucking Mark Fennell.
What a guy, hey?
Yeah.
He's not what a guy at all. He's the worst person around. Why is he number 3 on the top 3 television and radio podcasts? Why is he number 3? What is he doing? Why are people listening? I don't know. He's on Triple J occasionally. Just listen to the radio if you like his opinion that much. Don't download his 5-minute podcasts.
Exactly. You're just feeding into his ego.
I don't like it. Tina Cousins is also featured on the wall.
Oh, yeah?
Who is that?
No idea.
Britney Spears.
Who's that?
Well, I think we all know who Britney Spears is, don't we? She was the lead in Mirror Mirror.
That is true. You are correct.
And then we have Vanessa Amorosi, someone, weirdly, we've discussed on this podcast before.
Did we really? I can't remember.
Wasn't there a big thing about, there was a poster of her in Pete's room and we ended up having like a 10-minute discussion?
I think there was a poster of a girl and we're like, is that Vanessa Amorosi? Because we were trying to think of Australian artists.
Turns out it is. Maybe.
There you go.
Well, there is a poster in his room with Vanessa Amorosi on it. Any significance? Well, I guess there is because he says it. He says, all right, I get it. After the lightning has gone on, the lightning and thunder, and he says, they aren't the girls for me.
Okay. All right. I guess this is Pete realizing that he's gay.
This is an ongoing theory of yours.
This is an ongoing theory of mine. I'm sticking with it. He's so deep in the closet he has to surround his room with pictures of girls just to convince himself that maybe he's actually interested in women, but those lightning strikes, they're revealing maybe he wants to post up some bodybuilder pictures. I don't know.
More on that later. But it did look like a teenage girl's room. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the girls weren't scantily clad enough to be a boy's room. Like, if you're going to post up posters of girls, you're like, oh, they're hot. They weren't.
You've got to have a car in the background. That's the key.
Yeah, you got to have cars in the background. There was no girls in bikinis. Like, why are maybe he's got like this uber respect for their music or something.
Did you have posters of girls in your room?
Well, no, but if I had posters of girls in my room, I would have had them in. Right? So that's the thing.
If you did, you would have had a motorbike in the picture just to, to maintain that.
Yeah, I would have drawn a little fucking. And also, I don't have pictures of people in my room. Because people, their eyes, they follow you around the room, and then...
They do.
Just like my brother, he then glues the pictures, their eyes shut, with glue, and he ruins your Savage Garden poster when you're 8 years old, and you're like, nah, no more.
Wait, hang on. You had a Savage Garden poster in your room when you were 8?
What
are you doing? Where's your sense of music at?
I liked Savage Garden when I was 8.
Oh, I don't know,
What did you fucking like when you were 8? Fucking...
I don't even remember.
Animals are farthing wood or some shit.
That would have been an excellent poster to have in my room. Wow. All right. Tony and Faye are making out because they're clearly about to have some bumping in the dark.
Exactly.
A bumping in the dark of their own. And Tony goes, I don't know if that was just me. But did the earth move for you as well? It's like, no, Tony, it was just an earthquake.
Yeah, you bought an unstable house, mate. Yeah, there goes your investment up in flames.
Bronson screams, all the twists run in, something's woken him up, and he's reaching for Ted.
Yeah.
Because I've written that down. Apparently that's relevant. They all reassure him, and Tony decides to check under his bed. And he becomes scared. He's like, what's going on? And Bronson's like, the monster's going to eat you, Dad. That monster's going to eat you. The monster that's under my bed that grabbed Ted. That's what I wrote down. That I meant to say before. That the monster had grabbed my teddy bear Ted and it was reaching for him and now it's going to get you. And Tony's like, no, it's just a moldy banana.
Yeah, and he's disgusted by the moldy banana.
Well, he has every right to be.
Yeah.
What is the most disgusting fruit or vegetable that you've ever seen?
Top 5 most disgusting fruit or vegetable.
You can go top 3 if you want. I just want a top something.
Okay, I don't know. I really don't know. Banana's pretty fucking gross, to be honest. They turn black.
Yeah, once they go black and really squishy to touch,
Yeah.
it's all over.
Well, people are like, oh, you can put them in your bloody banana bread or some shit.
When they're that gone.
Yeah, apparently. Cause
You know what
full
I
of
don't
flavour or
like?
something, I don't know.
People are like, oh yeah, you know what's cool to do? Get your banana and you can stick it in the freezer. Then you can have like a banana ice block. Our friends do this.
Who does this? Friends I know?
Friends, we go to their house regularly. Yeah.
Like, is it a new house or an established house?
An established house.
Are you serious?
But, yes, they, they do that.
Fair enough.
And once I saw it in their freezer, I was like, what is this? This is a black banana. What are you freezing a black banana for? And they said, oh, well, obviously it wasn't black when we put it in there. It was just a yellow banana that were frozen to eat as a special treat. And I was like, well, it's black now. You better get rid of it. And they're like, nah, man, it just looks like that. It's okay on the inside. I was like, well, listen, I'm not eating any black bananas because I'm only okay with yellow bananas. Call me a banana racist if you will.
I was going to.
But I draw the line
At black bananas.
at black bananas.
Nah, don't like them.
I do not want black bananas in my mouth. Yellow ones, sometimes are okay, just not black ones.
You don't want black bananas in your mouth.
No. Would you put a black banana in your mouth?
No, usually that'd be too big.
You deflated it. You know, it was funny there. We were joking around. And then you went too far.
Well.
They're all reassuring him and they decide to leave. Mm-hmm. Because it's nighttime.
And they need to go back to sleep.
They need to sleep.
Obviously.
That's a thing that you do at nighttime.
Sometimes you do.
Top 3 sleeping positions.
On your back, and on your back. So that the monsters and aliens cannot get you.
Mine are on my side, on my right side.
Yep.
Then on my left side. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes if I'm adventurous, on my side, but facing the other end.
Sometimes when I'm adventurous.
Just to mix it up.
I sort of sleep like a crab.
What does a sleeping crab look like?
Like a crab walk, except you sleep in the crab walk position.
How do you get in there? What? I don't understand. You're bent over backwards,
Exorcist style,
like in the yoga wheel,
like an exorcist style.
Like an exorcist.
Yeah.
Wow. Is it difficult to sleep like that?
Yeah, it's even more difficult when people sleep on top of you. You become like a secondary bed for people to sleep on.
Tony says to Bronson, we're going to have a serious talk in the morning about the cleaning roster. It's the morning, and they're having a serious talk about the cleaning roster, and Bronson says, I don't care about the rooster. I did it. I did all the cleaning, Dad. I clearly did it. But he didn't, because it turns out that he's not an honest person. Mm-hmm. He's like an American bank. He swapped all of his cleaning rosters, and it turns out that he's not done any cleaning in months.
It's called a CDA.
It is called
Cleaning
CDA.
Denial Association.
And so it's time for him to pay up all the cleaning.
Oh, but you know what happens when you try to take out all your cleaning tokens from the bank?
What?
The bank doesn't have enough of it in reserve. And it goes belly up, so it has to go to the Federal Reserve for cleaning tokens.
Faye is sick, and all the kids know that she's pregnant, but Tony does not. How would you feel if you were the last person to find out that your wife was pregnant? Are they married in this season? They're definitely married in this season, right?
I don't remember. Probably not. Well, actually, you know what? They probably are. I mean, how could they not be? I mean,
up to 3 proposals, right?
I mean, this is the ABC. All right, this is the ABC.
Oh, how could they have a kid and not be?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that would have been all over.
At least
in the news,
at least in like the early 2000s. Now I'd just be like, wow, it's so
progressive.
But before then, this was back when people were like, oh my god, there's a gay couple on the block, and it's like, I don't give a shit. There's 2 dudes who like to bum each other and they like to build houses together. That's cool for fucking them, I guess.
I think it's more offensive that they like to build houses together.
Why is that?
I don't know. You know, why would anyone want to build a house with somebody else? Don't build a house together. Just hire a builder.
Yeah, good point. Don't build your own house, guys. Unless you're a builder.
It's a recipe for disaster, really, isn't it?
It really is. Try getting fucking funding with that too. Not going to happen.
Yeah, no first homeowners grant for you.
No. Only jail time. Probably.
What? Why is people going to jail for building their own
Because
house?
you're not a licensed builder, and then the house collapses, and then the people in it die.
So
then
you die.
Well, no, you're alive because you're out at the shops
But
at that time.
isn't it your house? Who's in your house that you've built?
I don't know, your
without
wife
you?
and stuff.
Oh, so yeah, okay. That's a dark scenario.
Well, who else is going to get killed?
I don't know. You?
Well, no, because then you don't go to jail, eh?
The rats in your roof because you didn't have
Well,
money
you don't
for
go
a
to jail
pest
for that. You
inspection?
don't go to jail for that.
Oh, you could.
Not yet.
You know, liberal society,
Yeah, true that.
animal rights.
Animal rights. And one day you're going to go to jail for killing a rat.
Earthquake has happened again, and there's a monster forming upstairs. Linda thinks that the quakes have meaning to her life because she's searching for the meaning of life, and clearly every single thing has meaning to her. And Pete, it turns out, has been too busy to think about meaning because he's had all this girl trouble after dumping Fiona, but it turns out he hasn't had any drama at all. He's just been obsessed with Fiona
Exactly.
after dumping her.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. He's confused. What can you say? Yeah, he's a confused boy.
He's a confused man.
Yeah.
Tony,
He needs to go to Sydney.
what?
He needs to go to King's Cross.
Why? What's in King's Cross?
Oh, what's in King's Cross?
Nothing now after the lockout laws.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was...
Tony is finishing a sculpture for Gribble that Gribble has hired him to make, and Gribble is offering free earthquake inspections. But Tony just slams the door in his face.
Good. You don't need any of that shit.
No, Bronson's room is spotless, and he's so mad.
Well, he would be. He loves dirty, gross stuff, right?
Tony's finishing Gribble's sculpture. It has Gribble umbrellas in it. It's like a Gribble umbrella shrine.
And Gribble is paying him to build this statue for some reason.
Well, we find out later why.
And it's junk. And he said this
All
before.
all of Tony's stuff is junk.
Last episode, he goes, Tony, mate, you really got to take the stuff to the tip. He clearly thinks that
but we find out his true motivation later.
That is true. That is true.
Faye tries to tell Tony about her pregnancy, but he is over kids. They're too demanding, apparently.
Well,
Do you find children demanding?
all the time.
Bronson bursts out of the house, and he says, what is going on? We have a rooster? Why won't anyone follow it? You know, how would it be like for you following a cleaning rooster?
Rooster.
You'd be able to get rid of your cleaning robot that you have.
Yeah,
If you had a cleaning rooster.
It's bad enough. It's bad enough a rooster is telling me what to do in my own house, for starters. In my own fucking house. This rooster doesn't pay any mortgage. Or
No rent.
No rent.
No.
He's walking around on the bloody kitchen top, like throwing cleaning supplies at me, telling me to clean things. Nah. Guess what happens next day? You're invited over for a chicken dinner. Because I don't take orders for no fucking chicken.
Because you wanted some KFC and you went and got some.
Exactly. I made the KFC at home.
Would you make a rooster eat chicken?
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't make it, but if you happen to eat chicken, I'd be like, what the fuck?
That was like a big deal in the social network where the guy had to make the chicken, had to look after the chicken and
he gave
accidentally
him
gave it to chicken some one time.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Like, if you
It's
had
pretty
to...
bad.
The chicken doesn't care. Chicken doesn't know.
Forced cannibalism.
Do you know what they used to feed cows?
Yeah.
Ground up other fucking cows, right? So it's like...
Yeah, and didn't they get all diseased?
Yeah, they did, but you're not going to eat that rooster that you're being friends with.
Hey, do you remember that McDonald's game from when we were in high school?
Yes, I remember that game where
you could run your own McDonald's and you could choose what you fed your cows.
I was very proud of that game. I found that game.
And you could grind up other cows and feed them to the other cows, but they would get diseased.
It was so much fun. It was a McDonald's RPG.
Yeah.
It was great.
A store management system, and you could choose what you farmed and killed to make your burgers.
It was really good.
Good stuff. Tony leaves Faye to follow Bronson up to his room to check out what's going on. And it's Bronson's room, and Tony thinks that Bronson's high on red cordial, or that there's a hidden mess somewhere. And he tries to check Bronson's cupboard, but Bronson hastily convinces him to leave. He locks it, Tony leaves, and then Bronson unlocks it to reveal his smell sucker and loads of bottled smells. A spectral door opens, and this knight appears, who says, "Who are you?" And Bronson's like, "Well, who are you? Like, what's all this?" Pete and Linda burst in, and they come in, and they're mad that Bronson's cleaned their rooms, and the knight disappears. And Pete and Linda said, "How would you feel?" about this.
How would you
feel about this, Anthony?
How would you feel if a knight just opened the door and just, hello, I'm from a spirit realm? Mm. And that also apparently I've been cleaning other people's rooms.
Yeah. Wow. How would you feel in this situation? Top 3 responses.
Top 3 responses would be, there was a knight, I didn't do it, and piss off, at least it's clean now.
He says, I'd feel pretty bad, especially if you went into my secret cupboard, where I hide all my illicit substances.
And they open the cupboard and they find a whole bunch of marijuana, because that's what boys keep in their cupboard, right?
How old is Bronson? He's 7. He's not smoking marijuana.
He's not smoking it, he's selling it.
They start young.
No one would ever suspect that of him.
Who?
Yeah, of a boy. Of a little boy, a 7-year-old.
The drug dealers.
Have you seen RoboCop 2?
RoboCop 2, yes.
The head of the drug dealers there as a kid. So, could happen.
Tony leaves with everyone, and he leaves Bronson alone, and Bronson says, we'll be okay, won't we, Ted? Ted? Was this, a prequel to the movie Ted?
It was. It was indeed. It was Seth MacFarlane saw it, and he ripped off the idea.
A monster slowly forms underneath some furniture, and the Twists arrive to deliver the sculpture at the Gribble's house, who are so happy to celebrate his weather repair business. Earthquake, weather, all repair business thing that they have. And Matron says, how much are we paying them for this? And Gribble says, anything would be too much. Classic them.
So they're not paying him at all?
No, well, they're paying him, but they're saying any amount would be too much. We're just paying him an amount.
To get him out of the house.
How much do you think they are paying him?
Probably how long did he spend on it?
I don't know. How long does anything take?
Well, maybe $500.
You think? How is Tony paying his bills?
Yeah, good
question. We
question.
don't see him make that much art.
Royalties.
What? You don't get art royalties? What are you talking about?
Well, he supports Centrelink benefits. I don't know where he's making this money from.
He's got family
art
tax
grants.
benefit artist.
And he's also got art grants coming in. Yeah.
Are they still a thing, art grants? Aren't they a thing of the past?
Oh, there's still art grants, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it's just I think you have to, prove it, or you have to be a particular artist or something.
Yeah.
I imagine. You get art scholarships, or whatever they're called, when it's private grants.
I don't know, commissioning?
Society for the Enrichment of Art or something. So maybe there's probably some Aboriginal art grants, from private organisations. I don't know.
James says to his dad, we don't have a business. And Gribble says, yep, but we're using it as a scam to claim that the Lighthouse is unsafe and that we'll have to reclaim it if we find any hairline cracks.
Which is interesting because there's a massive crack in the Lighthouse already. Going all the way back to season 1, the episode Wonder Pants.
Ah, yes, Wonder Pants.
Steve,
Who's Steve?
The lost twist boy, murdered, and underneath the lemon garden.
Pete, Linda, Bronson, and Steve. What's Steve doing?
Steve was the eldest child and was buried by Nell in her lemon garden.
In her Orchard of Souls.
Yes, her Orchard of Souls. And she was waiting for the right time to get Pete. But as we know, Pete puts on the magical underwear in Wonder Pants, which has been microwaved with magic powers. And it allows him to have super strength. And when he comes out of the door of the house to go to school, he closes it hard and a big crack goes up the side of the lighthouse. So we already know simply there should be a massive crack in that lighthouse.
There should be indeed. Bronson is wandering around in the stairs. I don't know what he's doing here. And the lighthouse is clean. Too clean. And the downstairs is clean too.
Suspicious. It is very suspicious.
Very suspicious.
When your house is incredibly clean and you didn't do it.
And your downstairs is clean too.
Must be some sort of evil robot coming in.
Cleaning your downstairs.
Yep. And then soon he's taking your job.
Yep.
And then you catch him in bed with your wife.
Yep.
Oh.
Should have seen the warning signs.
Should have seen it coming when he was beep booping around. Sticking his fucking head around the corner. I'm watching you.
This horror music in this section, it reminded me of Halloween.
The movie Halloween and not
the movie, not the day.
Okay.
Although it could remind you of that, I guess, if you associated scary music with the day Halloween.
Or if you've ever experienced being chased by a serial killer.
If you are being chased by some sort of murderer, do you think horror music is playing in your head?
No, but he's going this. He's going dun 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 dun.
So the serial
dun, dun,
killer's saying the music.
Yeah, he's saying it out. He's saying it out loud, right? Because he's a serial killer. It's what he wants to do.
When I was like 3,
Yeah.
I remember being out on the patio and having a deep conversation with my pet rabbit about how I thought all of reality was just another movie. Like everything's just a movie.
Yeah.
Or a comic book or whatever.
And what
it's like your perception of what's happening is eventually just going to be, just a movie. It's just a movie in the grand scheme of things. I was quite involved in this conversation with Mr. Hoppy when I realised it was 7 o'clock and it was my bedtime.
And then Mr. Hoppy was thinking to himself, if only he knew. If only he knew the truth.
I wonder what happened to Mr. Hoppy.
Because
we lived in New South Wales.
And you couldn't bring him to Queensland.
Couldn't bring him to Queensland. I must have been younger than 3 if we were in New South Wales at that point. No, how am I going to be able to have an in-depth conversation if I was younger than 3? I don't know.
I don't even think you can have an in-depth conversation. I think you're thinking about it too much. I think you would have the conversation with life like a movie sometimes. Like a movie, Hoppy.
You were insulting 3-year-old me's intelligence.
Hey, when I was 4, I went to Tasmania, all right, and I saw Crikey the Clown in the toilet, and I remember coming out and going, there's Crikey the Clown in the toilet. Remember him?
No. Who's Crikey? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they were filming.
We've had this conversation before.
We've had it before. They were filming aggro, and he was in the toilet, and I was just pointing out, he's in the toilet, he's in the toilet, it's the Crikey the Clown. It's in the toilet. Kids are stupid.
Well, your parents like, get in the car. Let's go quickly.
The Crikey touch you.
That's not funny.
It's me. Are you fucking kidding? It's me. I can make jokes about myself.
It's not funny, Anthony. I'm gonna have to cut it out. Horror music, and there's a dust monster. Mm-hmm. It's just a big monster made of dust.
Yeah, well, it's scary, man.
The Gribble gang arrive to inspect the lighthouse for cracks, and the dust monster runs away straight through Bronson and eats the teddy bear.
I'd like to point out that I think, is it Pontillo? I wonder if he's picked up on this note as well.
Yes, Pontillo says, once Bronson realises that the dust monster can simply walk straight through him and not necessarily harm him, should he have a reason to be afraid?
Well, that's not the note I picked up. But
does he?
But just because something can pass through you doesn't mean it can't interact with the world. I mean, poltergeists can do that, right? Poltergeists can pass through you, but they can still interact with the world, so it's still scary. We don't know if he could possess things other than the dust pile itself.
What if the dust monster, went in your throat and you got, dust asbestos?
Or what if he just, cloaked up, went inside your throat and choked up your entire, and he's you turn blue because you can't breathe because of all the dust.
Asbestos is dangerous because of the dust, right?
Yeah.
Asbestos dust. What if that monster was full of asbestos dust when he walked through Bronson? Does Bronson have asbestosis now?
He might, because, it's an old lighthouse, right?
It is an old lighthouse.
There's probably some asbestos. You got a good point there. But they probably all have asbestos. Asbestosis, or whatever it's called. Living in a place covered in asbestos dust. We just assume that all the dust in the lighthouse now is asbestos.
Would the lighthouse be made of asbestos or stone?
It'd be stone, but there'd probably be things made out of, asbestos up in the ceiling where there was a giant light.
If you're a lighthouseologist.
It was a gas light. Yeah, tell us. Know. Honest to God, if for some reason you have some weird degree where you were I'm going to go to uni and study lighthouses. Okay. Whatever you want, man. It's fine.
It's a free world, man.
Free, whatever you want, man. Maybe you love lighthouses. Tell us.
What can you do?
Is there asbestos in gas lighthouses? And if so, could it turn into a monster?
It's not a gas lighthouse, though, is it? It's an electric one.
It's gas.
How is it gas?
Remember, end of season 2.
Oh, they had to... I don't remember.
They had to have you seen this episode? Have you seen this episode?
Oh, yeah. Get down off that horse, Anthony. Get down off that high horse.
I will ride that horse into the sunset. But anyway, back to what I've pointed out was that the Gribbles are actually dressed just like the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thought I just wanted to point that in there. They look just like the Ghostbusters. Which I thought was kind of cool.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. And not the new ones. The old, the good ones.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Well, as if you weren't trying to lead me into saying it.
Oh, I wasn't trying to lead you into anything. I'm just a man with a book of notes and a a computer running here
and
recording
box,
us.
And a box made of foam.
A big plastic box filled with cotton wool that is supposedly helping us sound. Does it help? Do you think it helps?
It helps in spirit. Don't you, Boxy?
What, were you calling it Boxy?
Why not? It's a box, isn't it?
Boxy McBoxface.
Boxy McBoxface from Boxtown Lane.
The current controversy.
Yeah, exactly.
You've heard of the Boaty McBoatface fiasco? This is going to be a 2-month-old joke by the time this
What
podcast
is this?
comes out.
What is the Boaty McBoatface?
There was some boat that was a boat, like a charity boat thing, and you could vote on what it was called.
Yeah.
And people on the internet were like, you should call it Boaty McBoatface, and it got the most votes. By far. Like thousands and thousands of votes for Boaty McBoatface. And now the charity was like, we can't call this boat Boaty McBoatface. Like, what are we going to do? And the people are just like, well, you got to do it now. It's Boaty McBoatface.
I am surprised that the top answer wasn't Hitler did nothing wrong.
Well...
They probably came in a close second, right?
There's probably a filter, I would imagine. There's probably like no offensive names.
It's not like what was it? They put it at the top of Time magazine's 100 greatest books. They made Mein Kampf #1.
Who did this, Anthony? Internet trolls.
The internet trolls from the dark recesses of the interwebs.
Yeah. The Gribble gang have arrived, and the dust monster runs straight through Bronson, and then there's banging on the door. The Gribble gang come inside the lighthouse and begin inspecting everything. And they're like, lint monster, hey? Not as dangerous as a hairline crack, though. Hairline cracks are really dangerous. They'll destroy your whole building. And they rush about measuring the cracks.
I really enjoyed this scene.
Why?
With them, I loved how they're going. They were getting the measuring tape out. They were trying to find everything. They played up the dodgy contract just so well. It was really great. Like one of the scenes is they go into was it Linda's room? They go to first.
No, they go to Pete's room and they rush about looking at a window.
Yeah, and they say windows. Oh, mate, those are like incredibly structurally unsound.
Yeah, oh, this is basically just a hairline crack
to a window. Yeah,
yeah. So are windows make the building structurally less sound? You would imagine to some degree, right? Some minor percentage.
I'd have to imagine so.
Again, if you're a lighthouse-ologist, this is a call for you.
Or, actually, if you're just like a builder, that's probably helpful.
This is the Thinking Man podcast.
All right, then.
We need ologists.
If you're
not people who actually know what they're talking about.
If you're the houseologist, as we'll call you, all right, or the windologist.
In this modern age of everyone wanting a fancy name, what is a good name for a builder?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because, you have these garbage men called waste engineers.
Residential construction expert.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd hire one of them.
Fucking yeah, and you pay a top dollar.
Not even to build a house. I'd just hire them to come over and shake my hand and be like, I met a building expert today.
Residential construction expert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be like, g'day, mate. I'm a residential building construction expert. I'd be like, oh, thanks, mate. Nice to meet you. See you later. Here's $150.
Oh, no, I'm just paying you just to meet you. Yeah, why not?
What is the person that you've been most impressed to meet in real life?
Okay, so the only person I can actually think of, and, I
wonder if you're thinking of the same person as me.
Did we all get in a photo together with him?
No. Oh, that's not who I was thinking of, but we did get in a photo.
I want you to tell me who you thought it was.
Well, one time when we were at O Week in UQ, there was some Jewish people there.
Oh, okay, that's going to be my number 2. Yep.
Yeah, I'd never met a Jewish person before, neither had Anthony, and there was just the Jewish club, and we were both like, oh my goodness, I've never met a Jew before, can I shake your hand? And it's just like, oh, I'm really excited to meet you. And the guy's like, we get it a lot.
Yeah, apparently they do. Which makes sense because I've never seen a Jewish person.
Living in Queensland, we don't get a lot of diversity here.
I thought I saw one once. Turns out it was a guy wearing a hat.
What do you mean you thought you saw a Jew?
I saw when I was driving away. I thought I was driving. I was like, is that like a Asenati Jew? Or whatever those things are?
Hasidic Jew? What's an Asenati Jew?
Aren't they like the Pacific,
I don't know.
Group of them?
I don't know anything about
Okay, so I thought they were a Hasidic Jew. I was like, is that a Hasidic Jew? He's wearing black. I'm like, oh my God, that's a Hasidic Jew.
It's just a guy.
It's just a guy. He's just wearing a hat. And I was just like, okay.
That's not exciting at all.
Okay, take your hat off, mate. Don't you have any respect?
Yeah. What?
But who I thought?
Who?
You know who I thought, right?
Yes.
But I don't have as much respect for him now. Actually, I have very little respect for him after the Vlad laws.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was Campbell Newman. We met Campbell Newman.
I'd actually met him before that.
Oh, yeah, I know. Because, like, you sort of went to uni with his daughter.
Because I knew someone that was related to him, yes.
Yes, you did. You knew someone that was related to him.
Yes. So you were impressed to meet Campbell Newman, who, for those people who have no idea what we're talking about, is the king boss man of Queensland, or was.
Was, until he made too many enemies.
He was the king boss man of Brisbane, then he was the king boss man of Queensland, and now he's the king boss man of nothing.
Because there's not a lot of people that I've met that are that interesting or that impressive.
Now it's Anastasia Palachuk.
Pilates?
Anastasia Pilates?
Probably, that's the name, right?
So, you know, it's like a Polish name and nobody can actually pronounce it, so they've chosen to just go with Palaszczuk.
Palaszczuk, because it's not like Palinska?
No, it's like Palinchuk.
Oh, fuck, I'm not pronouncing that.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, right.
Wouldn't you rather Palaszczuk?
Palaszczuk, yeah.
Anastasia Palaszczuk. It's got a bit of a ring.
What's wrong with, like Austin or something? Just change your name entirely. I don't know.
Why would you change your name to Austin?
What's an Australian name? What's an Australian last name?
Austin's definitely not one.
What's a fucking Australian name?
I don't know. Smith?
Smith, an Australian name. The most common English name is apparently an Australian name.
All right, Mr.
Mohammed.
Anthony.
Oh, you're going to say Mohammed next or some shit. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's fucking makes sense.
There's no Australian last names unless it's like Dingo.
Dingo.
Yeah, Ernie Dingo.
Anastasia Dingo.
Anastasia Dingo. You know, she'd get like a 10-point popularity rise from that.
Of course she would.
Everyone loves Ernie Dingo.
What if she called herself Sheila Dingo?
Sheila Dingo.
Oh, she'd just be in.
I heard on the radio today, people that use slang get they're more liked by people generally, as long as they have an Australian accent.
No, I don't believe that at all.
Australian slang, that is.
Is that in other countries?
No, just in our country.
Well,
I think.
Well,
I don't know. They weren't clear. This was Triple J News.
What am I supposed to say? Far out? Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Yeah, you're supposed to be impressed. You say like bloody oath.
Bloody oath.
That's a good piece of
information
I can
that's
put
quite
in
that's quite a yarn there.
I can put in me cork hat.
I gotta go see me nan. Fucking get myself a meat pie.
Fair shake of the sauce bottle, mate.
Exactly.
And what is the... All right. I don't want to get too hung up, but what is the proper usage of fair shake of the sauce bottle? Because no one seems to know. Is it just like fair go, mate?
Yeah, I reckon so. It's a fair go, or fucking, I don't even know. Kevin Rudd, can you come on the podcast and tell us exactly what it is?
You know, it's not too much of a stretch of imagination that we could get him one day.
Well, we could, maybe one day. And Kevin Rudd,
probably not now.
We could tell him all. He could tell us all about how he shakes sauce bottles.
We should send him an email and be like, "Hey, Kevin Rudd, you want to be on a Queensland email? A Queensland
email podcast?"
Yeah, digital technology, man. It's all the same.
It is.
All right. Let's actually talk about.
Let's do the episode. That's what we do.
Yeah, I can just hear the people getting angry.
You can hear the frustration.
My girlfriend said to me the other day, she's like, "Your podcast is good and all, but I think that you should talk about the actual show sometimes."
We were talking about this with Phil Bates the other day. It was just like, for Captain Planet, it's like, it's really hard to get notes for that episode. Because it's political or it's social commentary. It devolves naturally into a topic about politics. Because it's like, well, we need to cover 10 or 15 minutes somewhere.
Yeah. So we don't have a lot of time. So let's just smash through the next
Round
section.
Twist is the complete opposite, usually.
What, there's a lot to get through?
Yeah, there's a lot to get through, usually.
Yeah.
Look at my notes. Look at my fucking notes.
So many notes.
So many notes.
All right,
let's go.
Let's do it. The Gribbles, they enter Linda's room and they're chiseling a crack. They're trying to chisel a crack onto the wall and they're like, there's so much earthquake damage. Then they rush off and Bronson says, if it's not in Pete's room, if it's not in Linda's room, where should it be? Because there's only 4 rooms in the house, apparently, and not the room of his dad. Where does his dad sleep in this house?
Where does dad sleep?
Yeah.
Downstairs.
Really?
Well, he has to, right? That's supposed to be where he sleeps.
Surely. I don't know.
Maybe he sleeps,
we don't know where the room is.
Maybe he sleeps on the pull-out sofa.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's actually not too hard to imagine because we've only ever seen them, in the living room. And the Gribbles enter Bronson's room and it's a leap monster there and it sucks everything off them and then they leave. And Bronson enters the room and his teddy is dead. So he swears vengeance, suits up with the vacuum cleaner and cleaning equipment, lock and load, mother trucker, and then gets ready to fight things that suck things. Mm-hmm. At the sculpture, Faye tries to tell Tony that she's pregnant, and Tony says, sculptures are just like children. Wine.
Children, but I'm perfectly happy putting children in people.
My name's Tony Twist. I'm an artist. I just smoke my bong all day and get government grants to make art and sell
that's where she
arts with umbrellas.
She should have led with that and should have said, no, Tony, we can get the baby bonus. And just like, oh, fuck yeah, I can buy so much weed with that.
I think Tony gets a poor rap from us.
He does. Maybe he should get a job.
Faye bails on the conversation, not the marriage, though she should probably rethink that. And poor Tony. And Pete approaches women on the beach, as you do. And Bronson, back in the lighthouse, lures the monster with some pillow fluff. Mm-hmm. And Pete's trying to flirt with these women about sandcastles. And everyone here is wearing winter clothes. For some reason, they're all wearing like denim jackets and your winter Melbourne clothes.
Because that's how it is in Melbourne. All winter, all the time.
I understand it's a storm, but you're at the beach, like, you're going to get sand in everything. You don't want more than one layer, even if it is cold.
They just don't care in Melbourne. They just don't
Anarchists.
care. They are anarchists.
Wearing multiple layers at the beach, what are they thinking?
You heard me, Melbourneites. You know what it's all about. You're all anarchists up on your bloody trams and stuff going through the bloody town. What is that? Trams are not trains. Everybody knows that.
It's like the one time I saw some Eastern Europeans at the beach. They were wearing like multiple layers of like heavy jackets and long pants and big boots. And they were at the beach and they were like looking at the beach like, what do we do? I don't understand. Like,
there's two types of people, two types of immigrants. It's not immigrants, tourists. You've either got the ones who do exactly what you just said, or they don't put any sunscreen on. And you can always tell those tourists because they're just like, oh, you're an idiot. Because
there's only two types of tourists.
Go to the beach.
Oh.
What I'm saying is that those are the two easily identifiable ones.
Pete tries to flirt with these girls and Linda's cock blocking him and then the girls leave. And Linda and the girls say to Pete...
Yep, and Pontillo picked this up. See ya, Greg. I mean Bobby. And Pete goes, it's Pete, actually. And Pontillo believes this is a reference to the Brady Bunch, with Greg, Peter, and Bobby are the names of the three sons, which, it's a pretty good pickup, It's a good catch.
Yeah, like, I don't know how he got that one.
Yeah.
It just proves how much more aware of popular culture he is than us.
That is true. This is why we're good to have you back, Pontillo. This is some quality stuff, saving our butt, once again, by writing classic notes.
Yeah,
Good notes.
Yeah, if we didn't have him here, this show would be a shambles.
Yeah, pretty much. Should be called Tales from Pontillo, plus me and you.
Tales from Pontillo. What is happening now? Bronson's preparing to fight a monster, and he drops belly button fluff on some pillow fluff that he's put in the middle of the ground. Do you get belly button fluff?
Oh, yeah, but I don't get, like, disgusting belly button fluff that he had.
What colour is your belly button fluff? I'm interested in this. Oh, don't pick it out now.
Don't have any in there.
Let me check mine.
You better check yours.
I have, what's that? It's
white.
grey, right?
Really white. Put it back in there.
I'm not putting it back in there.
I don't want you to
I don't want it back in my belly button.
It's like grey or...
Yeah, white. Normally it's blue for me.
Yeah.
I've heard that there's a direct connection between your belly button fluff and your towel.
Probably, because that's probably how it gets in there.
That's you're rubbing yourself around in those areas and it's caught on the hair and tracked into your belly button.
Well, that actually makes sense to me. That sounds... Where did you hear that? Because it just makes sense.
Some magazine I read once.
One of those Some magazines, one of my favourite.
It was K-Zone, okay? I was 12,
yeah.
And I read it and I remembered... I'm not going to say, I was reading K-Zone the other day.
Shed light into your secret childhood obsession.
Yeah.
I did used to read it too. Okay?
Yeah.
So just,
we've definitely said this on the podcast before, but I want a PlayStation 2 from K-Zone, so that magazine deserves some respect.
That is true.
And I remember when I told you said something to the effect of, Joseph, that's bullshit. Why didn't I get a PlayStation 2?
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah.
Faye tries to tell Tony, but looks sick, and Tony says, are you okay? And Faye says, I'm pregnant. And that subplot is over. Thank goodness, because that's an annoying subplot. Storm rocks in and it destroys the sculpture, but Tony's so happy. He's dancing around. He does not care that the sculpture is destroyed. And all of the Gribble umbrellas have blown away. Bronson readies for a fight. The monster approaches and it sucks up the pillow pile. And Bronson says, "Fista la Husta, Teddy Killer," and prepares to rock and roll. He puts his vacuum, he plugs it in and turns it on, something I feel like you probably should have done in advance. And he goes close to the monster and begins sucking it up. And he steps closer and closer to the monster until the plug comes out of the wall, disconnecting the power to his vacuum.
Should have bought an extension cord.
The monster sucks the vacuum away from Bronson. What's he going to do now?
What is he going to do? Rely on the power of the lighthouse.
What?
He relies on the power of the lighthouse.
What's the power of the lighthouse?
The literal power of the lighthouse, but also the figurative power of the lighthouse.
Okay, Bronson rushes upstairs and goes to turn on the lighthouse light by flicking a switch. And Pontillo says Bronson is able to turn on the lighthouse lamp by pulling a power switch. It would seem the lighthouse lamp has had an upgrade since Season 2, Episode 13, Seeing the Light.
So we've just had this confirmation thing here, I guess, of our discussion earlier. So now it's an electric light. And maybe they got rid of the asbestos, but some of the asbestos got loose.
Why is it turned on? Why is this light active? Is it still in operation?
Well, it shouldn't
Is it just there for the ghosts from that episode?
I think it's just there for plot convenience.
Yeah. I don't know why, though, because then he opens a window and all the wind disperses the monster and spreads all the dust throughout the house, which is the real reason that the monster is destroyed.
Yes.
The Twists return to the house and there's dust everywhere. Bronson's gone manic and he's trying to clean up the house. He's just like, I gotta clean this up, I gotta clean it up.
I gotta
clean, man. I gotta clean. And the Twist family think this is very funny, and shame on you, family. Mental illness is never funny. And the monster begins to form again under some furniture.
Oh, he hasn't been defeated.
No, the monster will return in another episode.
Unless you take care of all of that cleaning, which brings us to a final note by Pontillo, other than his rating.
And he says, do you guys think the underlying message of this episode was to encourage kids to clean up? And if so, do you think the message was delivered effectively? Discuss. Sounds like a, university discussion paper.
Well, I'll answer it the same way I always do with university
discussion papers.
It is my belief that potentially this episode did have a message that was constructed with quite effectiveness, as per these sources. But I can't say to its effectiveness. I don't know. I'm making it up as I go along. But it'll do.
What do you think of the question here?
My answer?
We're not time rich at the moment. We've talked about garbage for half an hour.
All right. Well, now we've got to put it.
We don't have time to burn here.
Do I think it was an effective message? Or
no, he's not asking. Does he think it's an effective?
Do I think it was delivered properly?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He is actually asking that. Yeah. If the message was delivered effectively, is the message get kids to clean up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it is. And do I think it was delivered effectively? No, not really, because you kind of scare kids, I guess, into doing it. And I feel like it maybe because they have to have the parental guidance there. And then actually, maybe that was it. Maybe it was a big conspiracy. Okay. And you hear me out on this. It was a big conspiracy.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, you better hear me out on this. All right. Big conspiracy to get kids to do it. So the parents would watch it and sit there and watch it with the kids. And then the kids would go, oh no, Mommy, the monster's not really here. And then the mother or the father could then make the decision of whether or not to invoke the power of the imaginary monster, which in my case, I would have said, yeah, that lint monster, you don't want to bring him into the house. You got to make sure it's not too dusty. And then the kid would clean. Otherwise, the lint monster will get him.
Are you just cackling to yourself?
I'm just picturing myself. I just hide under the bed. And then my kid would be like, isn't it the lint monster? And then I'd just be like...
So in this scenario, you're a parent with a child and you're scaring them on purpose.
Yes.
Is that how you plan to run your household, Anthony, when you have children?
Yes.
Just scare them on purpose?
Yes. At times when they will least expect it. It'll harden up for the unexpectancy of life. Life will throw a curveball at them and they're like, that's nothing compared to what my dad did. What about you?
What about me? How am I going to scare children?
Yeah, no. How did you think it was an effective message? Did you think it was delivered properly?
Dress up as a clown and stand outside their window in the middle of the night and hold up a knife very slowly.
Just hold up.
And then bang on the window really loudly.
Scary.
Credits. outtakes. Pontillo's written in, he said, we've got some unused footage here, including a couple attempts at getting the umbrellas on Tony's sculpture to release successfully when Faye announces to Tony she's pregnant. So they had rigged this up to do something. And if you want to see that, you can go look up the episode, which is on Stan and Netflix and DVD, but not YouTube anymore because it's been taken down.
Mm-hmm.
In summary, what did you think?
I thought it was pretty good. Let me get to my rating.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm giving it 6 out of 10 bowls of al dente, and I mean al dente as in just done or just average spaghetti. So I guess in the end, really, I said above average instead of it was good. So I'll say above average.
Pontillo was less enamored with the podcast than you.
Podcast.
Probably the podcast, but the television show. And he said, one of my less favourable episodes. I found it difficult to get on board with this one. Not really any humorous moments, mostly cheesy one-liners. I didn't find the plot very engaging either. 3 out of 10 bowls of spaghetti. Mm-hmm. And I'd give the episode probably 5 out of 10 bowls of dust.
Of course.
It can have spaghetti in there as well, I guess, because that's the theme we've chosen to go with. If you liked this podcast and you liked listening to us pretend to talk about Around the Twist and really just talk about whatever it is we talked about, I don't even remember what we talked about. We talked about something at some point.
We did. We talked about many
pies.
Things. Top 3 bakery items.
Top 3 bakery items. If you want to know more about us and what we do, how we talk about Around the Twist on alternate weeks, and on the alternate of the alternate, we talk about Captain Planet.
That is.
And if you want to find out how you can listen to us or find us on social medias, how would you go about doing that?
Well, first off, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Tales from the Twist, and Twitter at TFT Twists. You can find our website. It's got links to all of our podcast episodes at talesfromtwist.wordpress.com. And you can join Chicken Twisties on Facebook to get behind the scenes action, and contribute with Pontillo's pontifications or Phil's philosophies for our Captain Planet episode, that one is. And so you could do that through Chicken Twisties. There'll be links to this in the show notes below. But most importantly, I think, is subscribe to us on iTunes and give us a rating and a review.
Yeah.
Or either or is fine. I think in order to give a review, you have to give a rating. But you can just give us a rating if that's what you want to do. And we'd like that. That'd be awesome. That's a really great way to help us grow and get more people seeing it. So, yeah, subscribe to us and give us a rating. And lastly, if you want to send us a direct message, you can do that by Facebook, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yep. Or in Chicken Twisties. Or sending a direct message to talesfromtwist@gmail.com.
Talesfromtwist@gmail.com. That's the end of the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any closing thoughts?
Mark Fennell, don't like him, apparently. I'm with you. I saw his picture and I said, I don't like that.
You just saw his picture. You're a terrible person.
Well, you know what? If you look like a douchebag...
That's douche profiling, Anthony.
Yeah, well, prove me wrong. How many people who look like douches turn out to be not douches?
I don't know.
Statistically...
That's overgeneralization and speculation.
You know what? It served me just fine, all right? Yeah?
My closing thought is this afternoon... did I say this already? I got chocolate. I got given a bunch of chocolate for Easter because it's Easter tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got given my Easter early.
You didn't say that, but you said something about how you got chocolate.
I ate it. I just ate it all. I just ate so much chocolate.
You are a fucking pig.
I don't normally eat sugar, and then I was like,
you fat bastard.
I had 5 big eggs.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I am ashamed because I feel really genuinely sick. I don't normally eat a lot of sugar, but then I just started eating one egg, and I was like, I'll just have more until I felt like I was about to vomit. And I had a headache and it was woozy. And then when I was driving here to your house to record, I felt like I was about to hallucinate. My brain was just bleh.
It's too much chocolate, man. Too much chocolate.
Chocolate, man. Brain. Moral of that story is chocolates are basically cocaine, so don't do it.
It is.
My name's Joe Lewis.
And I'm Anthony Bull.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Tales from the Twists. Hope you join us next week for Captain Planet. And stay comfortable out there. Because it's a very uncomfortable world.
Yeah.
But also, stay twisty.